Let's talk about some new music, man.
Yeah,
Krept Konan are back. You know what I'm saying? Young Kingz 2, the mixtape, the project, whatever you want to call it, released like what, 12, 13 years after the first Young Kingz?
Something like
They're
that.
back, man.
Something like
they're
that.
back, they're back,
Do you
they're
know
back.
what,
Put
right?
some respect on Krept Konan though, because aside from music though, they've been seen on TV screens, they've been doing their business, whether they're opening up a restaurant or they're opening up a supermarket or it's baby oil. Krept Konan have been very much outside. They've been very much baby oil, bro. No,
children's skincare range. Don't try and give them the P. Diddy shout about baby oil. Children's skincare range. Shout out to Krept and Konan, both of them.
Shout out to Krept and Konan, definitely about their business, man. And we've seen them on the rap game, you know what I'm saying? So they've been on TV, they've been doing their thing, but they're back with this project, man. 18 tracks. And I just want to say from the beginning, man, I've been enjoying this project. I've been enjoying this project. Put some respect on this. I want this project to be heard. I want it to be heard, man. Like, when it comes to lyricism, when it comes to wordplay, you can't rap with these guys. But at the same time, with this project, we're hearing maturity. We're hearing introspectiveness as well. And I just love it, man. I know you've listened to the project as well, Ness, right?
Yes, I've had a listen to this project. Unfortunately, for myself, I haven't been able to give it the length of listen that I like to give when it's time to deep dive a project. So my takes are very hot right now, very hot. But I've had time to listen to the project. When I heard the announcement that this was going to be out this week, it was like a Timbaland and Aaliyah record started playing, and it was like, it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you, because I'm like, yo, guys, it's been a minute. Like, let's not pretend we've been waiting, and fair play. They've been on their business. They've been on their business ventures. I've seen Konan more so on a lot of like when my daughter watches her, Chunks shows and Sidemen and all of that. I've been seeing Konan get his YouTube on, to be fair to him, to keep his profile up. I mean, I know Krept is the face of the business in terms of Nala's baby. Konan obviously has investment in there as well, which is great to see. And it's like, there's two things that I want to say before we get into this album. The first thing that I want to say is that when I think of groups that have each other's back and last the test of time, especially in black music, you think of the Locks. You think of these brothers that ride for each other when the microphone's on, when the microphone's off. And I just want to commend Krept and Konan because, listen, they've definitely made a little bit of money. And when I say a little bit of money, I'm being sarcastic. They're definitely famous. They've definitely been through the trials and the tribulations that this industry has to throw at them. And to see these guys standing side by side as if it was the day we first met them is a beautiful thing, because in the industry, you see there's so many people, and I hope this take never goes stale, by the way. But I just want to commend them on rocking with each other over this test of time.
Considering they're not biological family as well, they're like brothers. And usually, because like what you just said, when the money comes involved, it usually gets quite toxic. And you see business going freaking like this, even though they were solid from the beginning.
But they've come in, man. But they've come in, they've got music money, and they've got money together. And I just want to commend that. We did cover on the podcast a couple of episodes ago about them opening up the Saveways. And what we were both unaware of at the time of that was the backlash that people were giving them. And it was like, for me personally, I saw the backlash and I carried on scrolling because I couldn't see. Because I couldn't see anybody that had stuff to say doing better business. So why am I listening to you? I just couldn't do it. So I'm going to move swiftly on and let's get down to this Young Kingz now.
No, because I want to add right there, I feel like in this country, we're not really used to the entrepreneurism. And I feel like they more celebrate that in America. But why is it when it's happening over here, we get so many naysayers? And addressing the thing, what you said as well, that we both like, people might say about Krept and Konan, they've been away for a little while. On the song, before we get into the tracks, we're going to more talk about the project. On the chat last night in Kingston, Konan said, they're like, where you been? Why you been gone so long? I've been counting grands like a nursing home.
Yeah. So just listen, I mean, if you ask for it, you gonna get served, and they be serving on this project. Do you understand what I'm saying? They be serving on this project. So before I press play on Young Kingz, actually that's a lie. I think I got to track 2, which was the Konan solo, and I stopped it. Press stop, bro. Do you know what I did? I had to pull out Young Kingz 1 Are you mad? I went all the way back to Young Kingz 1 and I listened to that from cover to cover just to get me in the zone.
12-year flashback to 2013. Right. That's when it was released as a mixtape.
I had to go back to 2013 real quick and enjoy that project. And listen, it's been a long time since I listened to that. There were some records on there that I forgot. Obviously, Don't Waste My Time is the record that lived the longest from that project. And obviously, I had the remix with French Montana, a whole bunch of UK artists. It was definitely a moment. Kingz as well, may he rest in peace, for UK hip-hop at that time. So Young Kingz, I think Young Kingz actually charted as an independent mixtape, if my memory serves me correctly. But again, numbers.
It definitely did.
Numbers.
It definitely did.
The numbers ain't something I'm here to highlight, but credit at that time, that was an unprecedented thing to do. It wasn't that easy, especially when it was your first project at that time. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or your first like major release.
You know, when you're looking at the track listing for that project as well, you're seeing G Fresh, you're seeing Gigs, you're seeing Fecky,
still about.
You know what I'm saying?
Tiny
you're
Temper.
Seeing George the Poet, you're seeing Tiny Temper, you're seeing Young'un, obviously Chips on there as well.
Yeah, Chips.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a flashback,
if I'm correct, I think Chips probably the only rapper that remained from the Young Kingz 1 and continued over to Young Kingz 2. So let's get down to it, man. There's so much. And I love that relationship between Krept Konan and Chip and the way that it went through a little tribulations a little bit, but they're definitely very tight now, man. And it's good to see. I mean, I want to talk about the project, but I will say this. There are a few artists that have managed to last the test of time. And it's funny because if you look at the New York hip-hop scene, you see man that used to be sitting down with each other now because they get it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think it shows a sign of maturity. And when I talk about this project, I think the first thing that if I compare Young Kingz, I don't know why I got to do this, but it's me, so I got to do it. If I compare Young Kingz 2 to Young Kingz 1, maturity is the thing that stands out the most. There's still some common themes. Krept Konan will still definitely do the mad thing with your missus. Like they will do it. They will do it and they will put it on a song and they will have their Rolex in your missus' snap. It's crazy outside. So if you're going to go outside, just wear a jacket, guys, because it's cold out there. Do you understand what I'm saying? But that was some banter. But I feel like the maturity is definitely there and the production has really stepped up. I feel like a lot of South London liked that real synthy, dirty hip-hop back in 2013. G Fresh was the king of that stuff. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I feel like now on this, it's more of a global sounding hip-hop, if that's a term that you'd understand. They cover many different genres, comfortable on any tempo, any subject. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Tempo specialist.
Yeah. So the records that I mean, listen, as I said, I've not had the deep listen of this, so I ain't got all the lyrics for you and this and that. And the problem with that is there's so many on almost every single song that these guys are throwing at you. So my records that I really enjoyed was 100 Mistakes, the Konan solo, comes in early doors. Track 2 after, it's like an interlude to start the project. And I feel like that's Damson, even though he's not been credited, I feel like that's Damson Idris's voice. I know that voice. I watched the whole of Snowfall. I feel like that's him on the intro. So 100 Mistakes by Konan on a solo. New Snap City featuring Chip with Krept and Chip. That was a mad thing.
That was ventilation, man. That was let me not let you fly through the tracks. As you mentioned them, I want to talk about New Snap City.
Go for it.
Because there's the line that Krept says on that. He says, "Think I'm a dickhead, so I'm due to put it." What was he say? Thinks I'm a dickhead, so I'm due to put one in his girl. That lyric was raw.
Bro, what did I just say? What did I just say? They will smash your girl, bro. And
no.
That hurts. That will hurt. That will hurt more than raw, man. Jamie said no one wants a punch in the face because it hurts. No one wants that either. I tell you that. Anyway, carry on.
And then Krept also said they want to talk about my business, then start doing the mash. Nala's mum sold 1% for nearly 200 bags.
Yeah.
I said, ooh. And then Chip said, you one-type beat rappers should be embarrassed. When the sound changes, you'll vanish. And I was like, yeah.
Listen, man.
I don't know. I like those lines. There's loads of quotables in that track, but I like those lines.
And it's facts because we've lost a lot of one-type beat rappers. We have. They're not around no more. And this is not me sending the shot.
Why do you have to say that sermon?
No, but we have. We've lost. R.I.P. to those guys. R.I.P. to those guys.
A lot of one-time beat rappers.
Listen, because the problem with a project like this from such experienced rappers is they open up conversations all over the place. So on the subject of the one type beat rapper, you look at an artist like Central C, and I'm not saying he's a one type beat rapper, but he fits into a certain pocket. Do you understand what I'm saying? You need to be versatile to be able to move, because trends do move. And it's like, I feel like there's
when you say move, to live, to have longevity, basically.
Longevity, right? And I feel like it's a sticky situation, because you never ever want to be the rapper that seems like they're chasing the trend to stay alive. You never want to be that guy, but you never want to be the guy that can't do it either. Do you know what I'm saying? Because rap is a sport, and you need to, it's like you're in the ring. You got to be able to throw the straights, the jabs, the upper, you got to be able to, you know what I'm saying? You got to be nice on your feet, as a rapper would say. So yeah, any more on this New Snap City?
Moving on from New Snap City, man. I'm talking about last night in Kingston from Konan. I don't know if that's one for you, but that's a Konan solo. And that song there, it's got the line where I already quoted it, where he said, they want to know where you've been for so long. I've been counting grands like a nursing home. You know what I'm saying? Then he's also got a line where he says, titties are natural, batty's a botch job. I got my Crocs off, she's got her top off. I said, yeah, okay then. I don't know, I just like that. I don't know if it was the botch job line or something, but I was like,
I told you, man. these man, yeah. Because you know what it is, guys, right? Like, I'm sorry, this might sound like a bias review, and it is, yeah? Straight up, it is a bias review. Krept and Konan are two of the rappers that stand on the top floor of UK rap, yeah? It's a top floor thing. There's a few rappers on the top floor, yeah? And when they present you a project, you need to go and check it out. This is definitely one of them.
But why does it seem like Krept and Konan are on the top floor and it's acknowledged and known by many people in the music industry, but it's also like they're on the top floor, but they're in a secret room, because I feel like people don't want to acknowledge or recognize that they're on the top floor though. Why is there that?
Listen,
why is there that?
You said last week something that I really liked. You said that an award show, if you give it to the people, becomes a popularity contest. Yeah? So a popularity contest isn't a measure of art. It's a measure of popularity. So what people are going to say, And opinions are like arseholes. Everybody's got one. So everyone can say what they want. When I sit in with this mic in my hand and I come to the camera, I'm describing art, bro. And when I'm telling you these men stand on the top floor, they stand on the top floor. What people want to say in and around and about what these men do is up to people. Some people might have a problem with, I don't know, the font on Nala's bed. Like, who cares, bro? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Some people might have a problem with the way Konan wears his hat or what. Who cares? Like, bro. So
yeah, nah.
So when
get all of that.
So when it comes to recognition, it's like we're never ever gonna please everybody. But what we're gonna do is call a spade, and we're gonna say that these men can rap. And I don't need to say this, and you don't need to take my word for it. There's a body of work that came out on Friday. Go listen to it and argue with what you hear. You won't argue. Yeah. You won't argue.
It's a testament to lyricism
do you understand
art.
What I'm saying?
And talking about something that's arty, how about having Sizzler on your project on a track called Bedroom? You know what I'm saying? This one's for the gal, and they've got Sizzler Kalonji on the chorus and doing some, some extra bars at the end of the song, man.
For those of you that are deep rooted in reggae and dancehall culture, you know exactly what we're talking about. For those of you that are outside, this guy is a legend. Like, yeah, I mean,
this is kind of like R&B vibes. This is kind of like R&B vibes and something for the ladies. But from you got Sizzler on the track, Say No More. Say No More. Then you got Nala's song, which I think is a bit self-explanatory. That's Krept talking to his young'un, you know what I'm saying? It's a letter to his baby daughter, a message from the father. You got Delroy's Son, which is Konan's dedication to his late father. Then you got Smooth Lovin'. Again, man, these guys now, in my opinion, they know how to make songs, man. This is produced by P2J, who also produced their track G Love that featured Wizkid. And if you don't know about P2J, he's produced for Beyonce. No, hold on. He's produced for Beyonce, Brown Skin Girl. He produced Burna Boy, Anybody. The whole Wizkid Made in Lagos album. He's produced for Snow Allegra, Dave, Stormzy, Georgia Smith, Jay Huss. You know what I'm saying? Come on, P2J.
I wanted to say that even sonically, it did kind of sound like part 2 to G Love. That was what I was going to throw in there. This sound like part 2. There's a track called, is it Low Vibrations?
Low Vibrations.
And Krept said on there, I hinted on this on a podcast before. I thought this was so cheeky. He said, have a baby by me, be a millionaire, only me and 50 know. I said, oh, hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bit cheeky, bro, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
And that song's on like a melodic drill with a twist kind of vibe. I like the musicality.
Bro, why have you always got to try and create genres that don't exist? Melodic drill.
No, I ain't.
Is that if you type in melodic drill, does that come up as like a playlist on Spotify, or does it come up as a genre?
I ain't creating a genre. I'm just giving my input into how I hear this song.
So what is it? Is it drill,
you know
or is it R&B, or is it drill and B? Like, what is it, bro? What is it? It's drill, isn't it?
Look what you just said. You just said drill and B.
I'm trolling.
What are you saying?
I'm trolling.
Yeah. I'm saying this is UK drill. It's melodic. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. And I just like, cool. I like that. Right, I like that because not everyone's doing drill with a melodic thing, and they talk about low vibrations, man. We don't want to be around low vibrational people in 2025, 24, 23. No year.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Get them away, man. Stay far away.
I've got to keep it a beam. And this is where everyone can sit on the edge of their seat. He's about to say something negative. Is it negative? I don't know. I didn't love the sequencing of this album. When we spoke about, I don't even think we aired it, but when we spoke about Getz's project or Bashy's project, we spoke about how their albums, they played like a movie or a film. There was a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it sequenced and it flowed from track to track in a way it took you on a journey. I felt like there was a lot of backwards and forwards in terms of like how these records made you feel emotionally. 1 minute I was hyped, then I was introspective, then I wanted to make love, then I was hype again. Like, it was a lot of that for me personally, so I didn't love the sequencing. That doesn't say that any of the records on this project are bad, but in terms of the body of work, I don't know, because you understand, and I understand this, that there's probably 5 or 7 records that could have been on, like, you know, if we all sat in the studio with them, we might have put 5 or 7 records that they left off on this project. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that always plays an important part when you're sequencing a record, how you get the record to sit. So only they could have the answer to that. But I didn't love the sequencing of the tracks.
Ness, shout outs to you though, man.
Why?
Shout outs to all the people that hear songs and they're like, yeah, this song makes me want to make love. Shout outs to you, innit? Shout outs to you. Say no more.
You've never had a record that's made you want to, not even made you want to, but put you in that frame of mind. You're thinking about it, the content of the record. Then shout outs to you. You don't enjoy music as much as I do. That's a fact. Shouts out to you, because I live these songs. They paint a picture, and I study the picture, and the picture makes me feel some type of way.
This is not a therapy session, but like, songs don't make me feel love. But then when I hear songs like Rage off the project, maybe it makes me want to like,
so you can only
break something.
So you can only get angry when you hear records. You're listen, this is a problem for you. You want to retract. You want to say, I don't know. All right, cool. So in wrapping up on this project, for me personally, solid. I'm not going to give it a number out of 10. I'm just going to say this is solid. A must listen. And yeah, we're going to see them live, right?
We are going to see them live.
Looking forward to that, man. Because listen, man. If there's different artists that are going to give you different things. I'm telling you now, Krept Konan know how to put on a show. That's something. I remember when I was in Alexandra Palace and I was watching these man backflip and somersault through the sky. And I'm like, how did we get here, guys? But it was entertaining. So listen, looking forward to that.
I want to say, man, I enjoyed the song Rage with Getz as well, man. Krept has got a line on there where he says, feeding her kids. He says, feeding her kids like Marcus Rashford. I thought that was mad, you know what I'm saying? Krept's flow on that first verse was mental. Getz shelled as well. And Konan done his thing, man. He said, wrong place to be looking for clout. Don't make the iPhone get you put in the clouds. I said, yeah, okay, say nothing. Like I say, this project for me, wrapping up, strong project, definitely defined maturity. If we think about like Krept Konan still outside in 2025, they released their debut mixtape, their debut project, Red Rum, in 2009. We're in 2025. They've showed growth. They've showed versatility. They've showed entrepreneurship. Like I say, you see them on the TV screens. You see them doing business, whether it's opening up a restaurant or a supermarket or get involved in baby products. Don't call me out on that again, please. You know what I'm saying? Doing business, making money, and still like having the longevity and putting out all of these projects, man. And I feel like I don't know if it's a time, I don't know what you need to do or somebody else needs to do, but I've always held Krept Konan in high regard. And you know what I mean? Salute them, going independent as well and taking this business into their own hands as well. And yeah, man, I really enjoyed the introspectiveness of this project as well, like with Nala's song, Delroy's son, Guiding Me Back. Yeah, man. Shouts to Krept Konan. You know what I'm saying?